Hey, check out this beach. Amazing, right? Great sun, smooth waves, and, more importantly, all ours. The previous owner was a bit in over their head, just a teensy bit, so this park didn't work out for them. I have an idea, though. I think we pack this place with guests and make a splash for coast to coast with water rides. Something new and exciting that people will come from all over to try.
My, oh my. I can picture it now. You're onto something here, my boy.
Wait a minute. I know my brother. There's a catch, isn't there, Bradley?
Well, just a little one. The previous owner took out quite a few loans before the park went under. And, now those loans are all ours. Surprise!
Brad, you should have spoken to me first. I would have helped you avoid a mistake like this.
Mistake? No. I thought this place was great.
Oh, don't you worry. What's a little debt between friends? Just you stick to your vision, and we'll make something incredible together.
And just like that, it's a sure thing. This idealistic beach is in troubled waters. The previous owner tried everything to keep the park afloat, but eventually got flooded with debt. Luckily, Brad has a vision for how to turn the tides and get this park sailing again. And that vision involves making a real splash with water rides. Time to dive right in. And of course, welcome on back to our career playthrough series. At the time of recording this, the first episode has not actually released for me yet. I'm actually recording this a couple hours before that release. So I don't know what your guys' feedback is looking like. But I hope you guys are enjoying it nonetheless. Either way, let's actually go ahead and dive straight into this in literal terms. And let's see what Brad has unfortunately gotten us stuck into. So, I guess if I can go and move my camera around there a little bit. I guess the first thing to go ahead and rectify is taking care of some of our objectives. Right now it says build and open 1 guest services. Now we do have these empty stalls right here that we can go ahead and utilize, and I think we will just do that. So we're going to put the guest services right here. So I'm going to edit this building and place our staff services. Guest services counter. Oh, not counter. I want guest services shop. And we'll just place that right there. That will allow us to go ahead and be able to sell that stuff. And it looks like it's done some interesting bits of pieces to the pathway right there. I'm going to go ahead and quickly try and fix that. So that is going to be for our guest services. And we want to be able to open that. So let's go ahead and do that. But we need power over here. So let's take a look at our heat map real quick. So it looks like it's tucked right in between a little bit of a dead spot when it comes to power supply. Not to worry. We can go ahead and just place a small power relay over here. Or a power distributor, more precisely. And we can just place that right along the back corner. I say, there's that. And now we got power to that shop. Let's go and open it. That is our first objective done. Quick and easy. We also need to put in a restroom, and I think we'll put that in this building right here, since it's already available. So let's go ahead and get a toilet cubicle. We're going to add this to the cubicle here. And there we go. Now let's go ahead and get our janitor sorted out, and we're going to need to do a expansion plot. Let's see here. Now, if we take a look at park expansion, we got several different areas that we can go and take benefit from. We got the beachfront over here, beachfront 1, beachfront 2 over here, beachfront 3, and beachfront 4. I think we're going to go with beachfront 2 right here. These two are exactly the same cost, but I feel like we can do more with beachfront 2. So we're going to do just that. Okay. That gets us that, and we need to build a new flat ride over here. Okay. Let's first go and expand this path then. I want to go and copy the existing texture. And I want to be able to... Ooh, need that to be a bit wider. I think that needs to be a 7 wide. Yes, it does. Okay. And let's go ahead and... Don't want to do that. Let's actually just do the regular pathing here. I kind of want to do a little bit of curvy paths. Yeah, curvy paths. Let's go ahead and put that right there, and we're going to have you extend out this way. I know it's a little bit odd given the fact that it has the railings across it, but I think that will do for now. We do need to place down a flat ride, and I think what we'll do... Let's see, the flat rides that we have at the moment... Let me go and just check our attractions and shops here. Rides. So currently the only flat rides we have are Resurgent and Big Wheel. Okay, so Big Wheel is right here and Resurgent is right here. Okay, so both of those are perfectly fine. I don't think we need to worry about those two. So what we will do though, let's go to flat ride here. And let's go and create custom. Let's go and put a Charoplane. A Charoplane I feel like is a very kind of like sought after attraction in most amusement parks. So I feel like placing it here is actually going to be quite beneficial for us. Now we're going to want to get our queue and our ride pathway sorted out. Let's go and get the pathway sorted first. I want to go ahead and go to 1 and just bring you like a so. A little bit of an incline right there, but hey, at least it's ADA accessible. Let's go ahead and get our queue made then. I kind of want to copy the style of the existing queues that we have over here, and it looks like they're orange. So there's that. We can definitely go and copy that. And it looks like... You know, actually, let's copy the this style. I feel like that might be a bit better. Okay. And Charoplanes, in my honest opinion, don't really get too big of a queue, at least in the early days, not until they become, like, heavily prestiged. And I am going to go ahead and angle snap them real quick. And let's go to link snap as well. And I want to go ahead and bring you guys around. And we'll have this be a somewhat decent queue path, in my opinion. Just because it can go and get busy, but we don't need it to be extremely busy. We'll have it connect like so. And let's go ahead and first off rename it from Charoplane 1 to just Charoplane. And of course open it on up. Next, we need to build a pool with a minimum of 300 prestige. Now, we do have this pool right here, and it does have the minimum of 300, but it does not meet the size requirements. In fact, let me go and check that real quick. I believe that it does go and say that somewhere about here. No, it doesn't say this on this screen right here. But what we can do is we can go and expand this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab our pool, and we are going to create custom. I'm going to grab our draw tool here, and I am going to just expand this a little bit. That should allow us to have a fairly decent sized pool. And in fact, maybe not like that. Delete that. That might be a bit sketch, in my honest opinion. Let's go ahead and turn off the length snapping. And once you have this straight, and go ahead and see what right there, I guess. Yeah, that or just put that right there. Okay. I want to customize this so that way it copies that existing texture. And let's just go ahead and use our customization brush. Just match it like so. And it looks like Oh, but we have to build it in beachfront too. Okay, never mind. So we'll go ahead and just redo that. I didn't realize that it said beachfront 2 there for a second. Whoops. Let's go ahead and first build out this path, because I kind of want to have this path come across here a little bit. As far as where the actual, like, where it will actually come across, like, I know that the separation for the park, or separation for the two areas is right here. So we could either have it come down here, or we can just build up the park, or build up the pool over here. And I think that's a good idea. Let me go ahead and do that then. And I kind of want to go with these large pool. Large pool actually might be a good idea here. It has a fairly ample amount of space, and I think we can make this work. And I am going to go and just grab our pathing tool here. And I am quick, easy stamp, in my opinion. Nothing too extraordinary. We're going to want to get that sorted out. And it says that the guard does not have good coverage. Wait, do we not have a guard, lifeguard over here at this pool? Not really. No, not at all, actually. So let's go and get that sorted real quick. I know I'm kind of like floating back and forth, but let's go into scenery, pool extras, and let's see here. We want a lifeguard. We can have that just be right there.
This place is starting to pick up, but I did think there'd be more guests by now. Do people not realize how cool this place is? Maybe Eugene was right. Maybe this place was a mistake.
Just give it time, lad. The park is doing great. And I'm sure Eugene was just trying to protect you. Brotherly love and all that.
Yeah, you're probably right. You usually are, except for the haggis-filled donuts. That was just all kinds of wrong.
With that said, that gets us the bronze achievement. Fairly good start to go ahead and get us moving along. Let me go ahead and just do a quick few modifications here. Now, this pool already has a good prestige, so I'm just going to remove a few items here, so that way it's kind of like not in the way. And yeah, that didn't drop it by much, as I kind of expected. So we'll leave that as is. I do want to get a couple of stuff going on over here, and I want to get some services over here. Specifically, I want to get a changing room. Let's go ahead and put that. Let me go ahead. Snap distance. Not snap distance. I don't want that. There we go. It's angle snapping that I want. We'll put a changing room right there. And let me put a body dryer kind of like right next to it. And we do need to have a power station out this way. But before I do that, I want to build another guest service point over here. Let's go and have that be like right. We'll have that be actually across from these two. And let's go and have that be like right there. I think that works. Now we do need to go ahead and bring our power down this way. So let's get a power distributor. And let's go ahead and do just that. Let me go and turn off the angle snap. Put that right there, since that will cover the area quite a bit. There we go. Cover both of those areas quite nicely, in my opinion. I do want to go ahead and do some touch-ups here with the terrain and scenery. So let's do some terrain painting real quick. I kind of want to do some soil right here and change the intensity to be about 75. Yeah. And let's change that. Maybe not to 17 meters. Let's change that to 10. Yeah, that should be fine. And let's instead of 10, let's go down to 7. Yeah, because it's almost like creating a sort of natural walk path. Words are hard. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and get some additional trees over here, because I feel like this is a little bit bland of some trees, in my honest opinion. So, let's see here. I want a bit of tropical vibe. Let's see. Mediterranean. Tropical. That's what we want. Let me go ahead and increase the size to be about 20 meters. And the intensity, let's bring that up to 20. And let's get a little bit over there. That's not too bad. I think that's not too bad. Let me go ahead and just get a couple more bushes over there. Creates quite a lot of shade over on this side of the pool, which I think is a really good idea to have. So there's that. Now we need to complete the American Arrow coaster, which is right here. Not too bad of a ride so far. We just need to go ahead and create the endpoint for it, which is not going to be too difficult. And if I can... Nope. Nope, do not want to do that. Come on, game. I want you to come out this way. And I want you to go ahead and make a sharp turnaround right here and go down to 8 meters. I don't want you going down right there. And I want you instead coming right here. Let's bring you down to 8 meters again. I want to have this be a block section. Let's see here. We'll have this drop down to 4 meters properly. And we'll do a couple of brake pads. Just a few. In fact, actually, let me expand that a little bit so that way it's not as congested. Now, I could just do an autocomplete right here and see what the game says. But that looks a little bit meh, in my honest opinion. We can try it to see how it works, but it does look a little bit meh, in my honest opinion. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it closer, I think it doesn't look too bad. I think it kind of matches what the game wanted to have done. So I will go and do that. I want to edit this piece of track, though. And I want to go ahead and embed a track push right there and along here. So that way, when the trains are coming from this block section, they can just get pushed over to the actual station proper. There we go. And we got to test this coaster now. And why not? Let's go ahead and give this coaster a ride. And I'm going to go and go to 3 times speed. Could do with speeding up the chain lift, maybe. And that train might need to get moved. Doesn't feel like it's in the proper position. Good inverted turn right there, and I see another tree that's intersecting with the track. Not very realistic in my opinion. Brake section right there. There we go. Okay. And looks like that train is only halfway up that coast, halfway up the track. So let me go ahead and increase the chain lift speed. Yeah, so chain lift speed, let's go and increase that to just 8 miles per hour. And I think that should be fine. And it says that there's no power at the station right now. Could have sworn that there was power. But nah, we'll be good. We'll be good. I don't see any issues with that. Let's go and run on 3 times speed real quick. And see what the game tells us about the ride. 5.94. But most likely with the increased chain lift speed, that might change it. It kept it about the same. Yeah, it did keep it about the same. And yeah, it's still only about halfway up the chain lift by the time it gets back to the station. Okay. I think that's a-okay. We'll go and open up that ride then. Now, next up is building up our flumes. And I kind of have an interesting idea that I want to experiment with here. And that is building 2 flumes. Well, now that I say that out loud, I might be able to just pull away and build 2 flumes over here. Maybe? Maybe. But we do have a lot of guests that are now heading over to the coaster, and that's actually good. That'll help us get a bit more of some income coming in. There we go. Also, swimming pool 203, over capacity. Ooh. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. I should expand this pool, but frankly, I can't be bothered. Let's go ahead and explore this a bit further. We do need to build the flumes, and I actually just realized I need to decorate the area around the Charoplane because it does not have a lot of people going to it. With a prestige of only 366, it doesn't have a lot going for it right now. Ugh, not ideal. Not ideal at all. So let's go ahead and rectify that. So, I think the way we can rectify that... It's just by building some scenery. I'm going to go ahead and hide our objectives for the moment, so that way I can build up around the Charoplane. And I think we'll go ahead and get some rocks around here. Well, instead of actually doing the scenery brush, let's go ahead and actually place them manually. And I want to go and change the filter. Nature region, tropical. Thank you. And let's see here. There are some decent-sized rocks that we can go and utilize here. Which I don't think is a bad idea. Let's go ahead and just place a couple like that. Just a few different rocks will do. Nothing crazy. That, though, is not in an ideal position, so... Okay. I do want to go ahead and see here. Can we get a... Let's see... do we got any coaster signs that we can use? Theme signs? Oh, let me get rid of the nature filter. Let me go ahead and go to entrance. No? Ride? No. I'm trying to think here. What would be... No, not that. Huh. I guess I didn't have the asset that I was looking for. So I remember back in Planet Coaster 1 that there used to be a asset that you could put at the front or at the entryway into buildings or into rides that would be kind of like your own like sort of entry sign of that ride. I think in Planet Coaster 2 they got rid of that and just had it be a bit more customization based, which by all means I don't mind that, but at the same time, for those that didn't want to do a lot, it does mean that they're going to be a bit more limited. But I guess what we can do is we can place a couple of balloons. A couple of balloons right here. And let's go ahead. I want to get a sort of something that I can use as support that would be realistic for this ride. Do you want... Ooh. Can you snap relative to it, please? Yes, you can. Okay. Yeah, down. I'm going to have to increase the size of this, as it's the only way that it will work. Yeah, there's good. Anything else? Something like this. That way it can be seen from the plaza side. And let's get a sign coming up in here. And what do we want to have be the actual sign for this place? I kind of want it to be like wind-based, because when I think of Chairplane, I think like soaring through the wind sort of deal. So there's that. It's not really what I'm looking for. Let's get one of those in there. It'll have to do for now. It's the closest thing I can get that somewhat makes sense. Let's do that. Over there. Let's go ahead and just have a quick open. Like that. So go ahead and line yourself to that. You have some angle. I think that works. Now, editable writing signs. That's what I really need. Let me go and put some text signs up here. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly do this real quick. Anyway, I'm just going to put this as Chairplane for now, because what I was trying to do was trying to find the conversion for this ride in Planconian. Yeah, let's have it be just that. Chairplane, that's fine. It's a little bit of a customization right there, but I think it would work. Okay, so for the Flumes, which that is our next objective, we need to get 2 new Flumes created. We can do it in one of 2 different ways, and I kind of want to implement it where I create one over here at this ride and one over here at this ride. I think both will be an a-okay idea. So first of all, I'm going to come over here, and I am going to purposely get rid of... let me go ahead and delete that right there, which is not ideal. So I am going to, and that's it. That's what I want removed. So we're going to end up putting our log flume like ride kind of like stationary here. So let's go ahead and get our flumes made. We're going to create a custom flume, and let's go do a body flume. And I want to go and angle this properly so that way it's facing in the direction of the pool. And you know what? I'll do both of the flumes over here so that way it can make it easier. And let's go ahead and do a bit of the open top flume that has a handlebar. Okay, what we'll do is we are going to drop you down by 10 degrees. And drop you down another 10, so we're down to a 20-degree slope. And I want you to go ahead and kind of curve at a 30-degree angle real quick. Maybe 35, actually. And let's go ahead and bring your slope up to 10 degrees now. And it looks like we are intersecting too close to the ground. So let's backtrack a little bit. Bring you right there. I don't know why it's doing that. That seems a bit awkward. I don't know entirely why. I think it's doing that because of the shrubbery. Yeah, it's doing that because of the shrubbery. Delete you? No, I cannot delete you. How dare you? Edit Flume. Okay, we're already at 70 degrees turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a wall to this part of the flume and do a little bit of a sharper turn at like 55. And let's bring you up. Actually, let's go and make sure you're coming up first. Yeah, that's plenty of clearance for people to walk underneath it. You just go ahead and bring you back down to a 15-degree slope. And then let's go ahead and have you go back to a regular and an endpoint. A bit short, so let me go ahead and bring you back to 0 there. And just extend you out by an additional meter. That should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. Hit that real quick to that. And what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and make that be the large wall. Now let's go ahead and test this body flume. There we go. That's not too bad. I'd say that's actually perfect. And what I want to do is I want to, of course, place an entrance right over here and have that be entered right in the middle. And we're going to want to connect the entrance to the path proper. Let's go and go with curve here. And we'll just have you connect right there. Now we can go and open this now, but I'm actually going to add another flume. Flume platform, I want to build another one. And I am going to want a enclosed start. And let's have this one be an enclosed body flume. You know what? We'll have this go almost straight into a drop, to be honest. Have it go down to a 30-degree drop first. And then let's have it go down to a 60-degree. I know it sounds a bit odd that I would have a drop that high, but I think that'll work. And we'll just have you come along here. Let's go and actually bring you out to about right there. And we want you to exit out here real quick. Could have you be a transparent. No. We'll do just that. And we'll place that. And Bob's your uncle. We got 2 different flumes. Both are now testing. Let me get this other one. This other one can be... we're just going to call this one saying like spiral. And we'll go ahead and open that. And let me go back to the platform. And this body flume, will just have it be the drop. Not a creative name whatsoever, but I think it works. Yeah, it does have a high excitement, which I think is fine. Okay. I do want to go ahead and do some scenery adjustments over here, or at least some terrain adjustments. Let me go and get some... get some shrubs coming on in here. I think that will be useful. Yeah, I think that works. And what we'll do is we'll put some bushes in here. Or some small plants at least. No, that is not a small plant. Scenery, do go ahead and avoid it. Okay. A little bit of a start. Not ideal, by all means. I am going to just shrink these a little bit. So that way we can just customize them a bit better. Looks like that's a cabbage bush right there. And let me go and shrink that a little bit. That works. This one is a bit too close. Let me go ahead and get the rest of these moved a little bit. And let's move you away from the path as much as we possibly can. There we go. And I think I'm going to duplicate that one because it can actually be quite beneficial. Okay. I think that worked good. That works good indeed. Okay, well, that finishes up that bit. So, I'm going to actually check here. I think I haven't really done much. Can we, yeah, so have 2 flumes. Run an advertising campaign for long flume enthusiasts. Oh, okay. Let's go and do just that then. So let's go to here, park rating. Actually, I think it's under guess. Guess, advertising, long flumes. And why is it that we don't have the, what's the advertising? Oh, length of at least 70. And, okay. So, how long is this one? Is it not that long? Okay, I'm gonna stop this one so that way I can go ahead and edit it. And we'll just go ahead and extend from here. And you know what? We're going to have it be like a rolling hills type situation. And that is close, but I hope it's not too close. You know what? Let's go ahead and have you go down 10 degrees. Up 5. And down 5. Or down to 10 again. Okay, real quick, let me go ahead and drop that. I'm gonna add that exit. Now this log flume, or this flume right here, how long is that? Let's see. I'll test that ride. Testing. It is 76.3 meters in length. Interesting length for a log flume, in my opinion, but I think it works. Or, yeah. So, there's that. So now we can do the advertising campaign. Or can we? Because... oh, I need to have the right... have it open. Doi! Makes sense. Let's go to guess. Advertising. It is at least 70, though. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. I would have had that sorted by now, but I'm not entirely sure. I am going to have to call that there, though, because actually I am running short on recording time. Either way, I hope you guys did enjoy this. It's a little bit of a start. I think that this one will definitely be a 2-parter. Maybe 3. Who knows? Either way, I suppose it will be time for me to bid you adieu, and I will be back for the next episode. Hope you guys did enjoy, and let me go ahead and see you guys in the next one.